So what do you want me to do now?
Just say that when he gets off work, he's fishing, and like.
Okay. But when he gets off work, he's going fishing.
Nice. Welcome to this little CCB video blog. Now this is a Throwback Thursday. I mean, obviously that's kind of why I put in that old intro to one of my shows with one of my old co-workers. The show isn't about what she was doing there. I just thought it'd be fun to throw it in because it is the old school Throwback Thursday. This video is actually about wintertime fishing. I'm getting a lot of my viewers to say, you gotta put up some stuff about winter because it's getting so cold here and I can't catch fish. Well, the first winter bass I ever caught was on a jig. And when it becomes wintertime, that's pretty much what I focus on and that's what I fish. And in that, you know, I've learned some profiles that work the best. I've learned some locations where you can usually find more winter bass. So that's what this little tips and tricks is about. I don't really know how old this one is. I think this one's about 10 years old, 9 years old, something like that. But anyway, it's a good tip about finding yourself some winter bass and probably catching yourself some more winter bass. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Tips and Tricks. Now, today I'm telling you a really good jigging technique I like to use in the winter. And the jig I like to use for this technique is a little finesse jig. Now by now, if you've seen any of my other segments, you know when I use a worm and a jig, I tend to like it natural, like to use lighter weights. So these little 1/4 ounce finesse jigs work perfect for this technique. And the colors I like to use are green, orange, and red, green, orange, and brown, but usually the translucent colors. And in the translucents, I usually like a little black flake. And I do always fish these with a crawdad trailer and a little crawdad trailer. You can see this is very little, and that's because the way I rig these, and the way I have them rigged when I'm fishing them is I have the head of the crawdad come just to the end of the strands of the jig, and just the little antennas and the claws stick out past it. Now there's a couple reasons I like to use this. One, I want a very compact bait. I mean, it's wintertime, bass are sluggish, their metabolism is sluggish, and so when they eat something, they probably want something that's very compact. They want something that still it's compact, but it has some bulk to it, it has some substance. They can easily grab this, they can easily swallow it, they don't have to struggle with it. So it's just very nice and easy, but has some substance, it can give them some energy. And secondly, which is, I don't know, maybe sort of a superstition thing, I kind of, in my head, feel like the crawdad's trying to hide from them. Like, I'm here, but I have all this stuff around me, you can't see me, and the bass is kind of like, oh, I can see you, you're trying to hide, but I'm going to eat you anyway. But it's probably more because it's compact and small and has some bulk, so they can quickly eat it and swallow it. Now I'd like to focus a little bit on where I fish this jig. And that is on main body, either the main body of the lake or main body of a bigger cove, but main body little coves, and the points on each side of those little coves. Now, these coves might only go in 10, 20, 30 yards. And the points themselves are very steep. I mean, they go from shallow to deep very quick. They don't extend way out into the lake. And one of the reasons is, in the winter, a lot of fishermen are offshore. They're looking for major breaks offshore, or humps or islands offshore, so these places are pretty much untouched, so they're not getting a lot of baits, a lot of things thrown at them. But the steepness of those coves, or those points on the end of these coves, allow the fish to quickly go from deep to shallow, and then back down to deep, so they can come up and feed and go back down. And also, these coves aren't very deep. They don't go back very far. And larger bass, usually once spring does come, they like to get into a cove, spawn, and get out very quickly. So not only is it a short distance for them to go from shallow to deep, but very short distance to go from that point to the back of the cove, spawn, and get out. And in that, you won't get many fish on either side of these coves, but you'll get usually quality fish. I get a lot of 4, 5, and 6s off of the points on either side of these little coves. So you're probably gonna have to run a gun, or if you're walking, you're gonna have to walk quite a ways to get the different, but it's worth it because you'll end up getting good quality fish. So give it a try. A little short, compact, finesse jig, translucent colors. I mean, like I said, I'm just prone to brown, orange, and green, or brown, orange, and red. But whatever color you like, a little 1/4 ounce, try it on these points. You'll probably end up getting yourself not only fish, but quality fish. I hope this helps. Till next time.
That was terrific!
Great, yeah! Best bait so far! Fantastic, yeah, it's really great!
Really pisky, yeah.